U.S. stock prices edged lower after most losses were pared by the end of the week, following positive weekly U.S. job data. The S&P 500 fell 0.05%, the Nasdaq decreased by 0.2%, and the Dow Jones declined 0.6%. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve kept interest rates at 5.5%. The Bank of England cut interest rates from 5.25% to 5%, and the Bank of Japan increased interest rates from 0.10% to 0.25%. Gold prices finished higher, but silver prices fell as traders continued to worry about the U.S. economy amid rising tensions in the Middle East. On Thursday, U.S. initial jobless claims data came in lower than expectations, easing fears of a U.S. economic slowdown and supporting commodities and stock prices. Crude oil, natural gas prices both jumped higher, with the latter trading well above the $2.10 level. While platinum prices fell, palladium prices climbed to a more than 1 week high. Iran called an emergency meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, but failed to gain support for its proposed military action against Israel. Meanwhile, Ukraine launched a surprise attack into Russia, with some analysts suggesting that the target could be to take control of the Kursk nuclear power station. Investors and traders continue to monitor developments in the Middle East after Iran rejected a European appeal to step back from an attack up Israel and following U.S. Secretary of State Blinken's postponement of a trip to the Middle East. However, positive sentiment pushed stocks prices higher after U.S. inflation. Linked data came in slightly under expectations on Tuesday, increasing the chances of a sharper rate cut in September. On Tuesday, gold prices trade close to all-time highs. The economic highlight of the week is expected to be Wednesday's key U.S. CPI inflation data. EA's stock price fell by 0.8% last week to record an almost 2-week low. It's been a positive year for the interactive entertainment company, with its stock price rising to hit a 6-year high early this month. This followed a positive earnings report, with the company beating earnings expectations. The gaming industry remains a strong seller for the company, with additional record profit gained from live services. Exxon's stock price jumped 3% higher, trading just below $119. The oil and gas company has increased some 18% since the beginning of the year, with an all-time high being recorded in April. Exxon recently posted better-than-expected earnings and revenue results, and outlined how revenue in the oil and gas industry is expected to grow over the next 3 years. Exxon's price is considered to be highly correlated to the price movements of crude oil. Crude oil prices climbed by over 4.1% to finish the week at a 1-week high of $77. Worries about the U.S. economy eased late in the week, as oil prices rallied on the prospects of continued strong oil demand from the world's leading economy. Market focus remains the Middle East, as the potential for a wider war that could disrupt production still looms over the market. Gold prices declined by 0.4% and came close to a fresh record high in the final hours of Friday's trading. The precious metal received support from a sharp increase in tensions. In the Middle East, several countries have urged Iran to reconsider its plans to strike Israel, but Iran has rebuffed such moves. Some analysts believe any Iranian attack may be scaled down or paused in order to give Israel and Hamas ceasefire talks an opportunity to conclude. Palladium prices rose by just over 1.4% by Friday's close, hitting a 1-week high in the process. The metal, mostly used by the car industry and catalytic converters to reduce emissions, is deeply impacted by the economic prospects of the 2 largest economies, the U.S. and China. In the previous week, Chinese CPI inflation data came in higher than expected, and weekly U.S. job data was also more positive. The AUD-USD price pushed higher by the end of the week, recording a more than 2-week high. Last Tuesday, the Reserve Bank of Australia kept interest rates at 4.35%, but on Thursday, Governor Bullock was hawkish, assessing that inflation is likely to remain high. For much of last week, the greenback declined on increasing expectations that the Fed might opt for a 0.5 percentage point cut in rates in September,